A news editor with Adom FM, a member of the Multimedia group, Thursday was assaulted by an official of the National Health Insurance Authority at Ablekuma here in Accra. Ifeapokuya had gone to the rescue of a reporter with the station when a confrontation ensued. She suffered cuts and bruises as a result of the assault. It is the second time in a week. Take note of that. The staff of the Multimedia group have been subjected to some form of harassment and abuse. Ifeapokuya was on news at 8 last night. Now, I'll bring you a playback so you know the story. Then later, I'll bring you the update.
And sorry for the trauma you've had to go through.
Good evening.
Now, what exactly happened and where did this happen?
This all happened at the NHIA's office, district office at Ablekuma. It's in between Flamingo Junction and Zongo Junction. That's where it took place. And I had gone there, like you rightfully said, to rescue a reporter. I had sent a reporter to investigate or find out allegations by some people, patients who had gone to the hospital when they had issues with the NHIS cards, and others who had come there to register under the biometric registration, to find out why there were delays, why there were challenges with the registration process. So it was just an innocent visit. Okay,
so this was a regular reporter following a beat that had to do with NHIS subscribers who had complaints and had gone to the district office to register their complaints.
That is so.
And then what must have happened?
Well, when the reporter got there, in trying to understand, because we just got a couple of calls, so in trying to appreciate the extent of the problem, he stopped in front of the office, and there were quite a number of people gathered there to try and understand their concerns, and then subsequently go up to management to find out whether those allegations are true or not. Somebody spotted him speaking to some of the people in front of the office and protested against speaking to them, and the NHIS boss himself descended from upstairs and came and said that nobody has the right to speak to anybody unless he gives clearance.
These are the people who are the NHIS subscribers who have their complaints.
Exactly.
And he says you can't speak to them.
No, in fact, the words that he used when I got there was that these people are under him, so nobody has the right to evade his privacy. That was also his own expression. We're invading his privacy, and that you needed to take clearance from him before speaking to anybody. So because of that, in protest, they took the reporter's recorder and telephone. So I was expecting a report by midday. I didn't get the report. So I asked him why he didn't get the report by midday, and he said that his phone had been confiscated together with his recorder. So I didn't even go back to the newsroom for the afternoon news meeting. I just got into a taxi and got there to verify. And my understanding at the time was that I was going to just plead for the return of the recorder and telephone. When I got there, they said he was in a meeting. When I went to see him, he said nobody has the right, and he was trying to school me on ethics. The NHIS boss was trying to school me on journalism ethics. That don't I know that I have to tell my reporters to take permission from him before they speak to the people, and that the people there, the subscribers, are his people, so we can't speak to him. And in trying to explain to him, that was when he got furious and he started throwing tantrums. And I said, unfortunately for you, I am recording this conversation, and I'm going to make sure I play it to your boss, Mr. Sylvester Mensah. And then he just went berserk. And he said, you can take it to the president, you can take it to Sylvester Mensah. I don't give a damn. You can go to hell. Then I got out. He said, get out, get out. So I exited the office. I was trying to read the notice on his board to get his name, but I didn't get it, so I got down. And then when I was getting down with the two other reporters, some of the subscribers attacked us, said, you people have collected money. That's why you are leaving, because we called you. You should have come to record us. And in trying, I turned around to try and explain to them. And then this man comes with 3 other men to accost us that we should get out of the premises. I said, this is outside the building, so you have no authority here. You say your boss, your office is yours, but I've come outside. Then he tapped my shoulders twice. One of the reporters said, you can't touch her, so don't touch her. That was when another young man whom he brought from upstairs just descended on me, attacked me, held my shirt.
No.
Threw me down, and I realized I was going down, so I also held his shirt in order to hold on and still keep standing and keep my stability. By the time I realized I was in the gutter somewhere with slaps on my face and bruises on my thigh, and like you can see, part of my skirt is torn, showing my skin and all that. So that was what happened.
Subsequently, I mean, I'm sure you've been to the police station. What is the police?
What actually happened was that he rather called, I think that after the whole incident, somebody might have alerted him that you are in big trouble. So he called the police. Kondoko police came there with 2 vehicles. They didn't even see us because we were just standing there innocently. Then they later said we should go with them to the police station, which we obliged. And later the matter was transferred to Kaneshi. So we are currently before Kaneshi. We have written our statement. We're going to submit it tomorrow. And then we have medical report to submit subsequently.
Right. Again, I'm going to say it is indeed a sad day for press freedom here in Ghana. To have 3 more of pressmen in this country abused in this form in less than a week after one person or two other pressmen in Ghana were also meted out some form of assault. But if Yapokuya is here with me, we'll talk about this over the next few minutes. But before then, I'd just like to say that the National Health Insurance Authority has interdicted 2 of its staff to allow for investigation into the alleged assault on 3 multimedia journalists at its Ablekuma office in Accra. The 3 from the Accra-based Adom FM were assaulted by officials of the Ablekuma office of the NHIA for attempting to investigate complaints from subscribers about delays. I see. There's no point for me to go on about this. If Yapokuya herself is here with me, how are you doing today?
I'm well.
We thank God you're well. But what was it like for you yesterday?
Well, I'm almost used to some of these things. So people really do not understand the media. So mostly if you want to speak to people, they don't want to speak to you. Sometimes they don't understand the reason why you come around. But our work is to get information and broadcast it. And more so, especially at this time, is more critical for us to be fair, balanced, and objective. So at Adom, we try to do that. And that's why when we heard the complaints, we didn't just sit in the office and make assumptions and write a story based on those assumptions. But we actually went to the NHIS office to try and get an understanding and get the other side of the story and balance the story, which is fair.
And then it turned out to be this way. Now we hear that 2 of its staff would have been interdicted to allow for investigation. Is that how far the case has developed?
It appears so, but for me, an interdiction, I don't know whether to say that I believe the interdiction was going to do anything in the matter. Because, like I said, I recorded a conversation between myself and the NHIS district director. And he sounded as if he had connections at the top, so he didn't care. Because when I intimated to him that, by the way, I have recorded the conversation and your attitude, and I'm going to play it to your boss, Mr. Sylvester Mensah, he told me to go to hell. And anybody else can go to hell. He doesn't care. Nobody can direct him. So he appears to be well connected. So I don't know whether the interdiction is
and I couldn't agree more, because I recall that the NHIA had earlier said that the gentleman who assaulted you was not from their outfit. And so then I think we'll speak to the NHIA in a bit and find out these 2 people they tell us have been interdicted. But right now I have over the telephone David Agbenu. He is General Secretary for the GJA. You're welcome to the program, David.
Thank you. And thank you for having me.
A terrible dent on press freedom in Ghana, isn't it?
You couldn't have put it any better. First of all, I want to wish our colleague a speedy recovery if she's hurt. Fact is that I tried to listen to the conversation between the 2 of you and also the tape that was played previously, but I did not get to hear exactly what happened. So I cannot speak directly to what happened. I'm going to limit myself to the attack and say that it is barbaric, as it belongs to the old age, and such things must not be repeated. I listened to people talking about it, And I think that even the excuses they give for the attack is nauseating. We shouldn't descend to that level. It is not going to take us anywhere. For instance, the NHIS needs the media as much as the media also needs them. And therefore, it's a symbiotic relationship. We must not take advantage of the weakness of people whose profession demands that they will be confrontational or they will confront them and be beating them up. I cannot understand. But you see, we are vulnerable, and we must also know that, yes, in difficult times, people who are frustrated will always want to vent their spleen on innocent people. And therefore, we must also be careful. I sympathize with Ifia.
Would we see the DJA weighed in on this?
Yes. You know, 3 days ago or 4 days ago, I listened to Ifia and her colleagues who were discussing the media, including the DJA. And one of the things that they discussed was about the DJA always condemning such attacks and not do anything. And the other thing they said was that the DJA would demand for official reports or ask that a report be made before they take steps. And I wish to take this opportunity to explain to our colleagues. DJA will not be everywhere to witness every situation. It is only prudent for DJA to be informed of for instance, the tape you played. It would be good for the DJA to listen to the tape or even have a first-hand information about the attack before the DJA can also act. Beyond having those facts and the real situation description, it is difficult to wade in because we have had situations where
David,
our colleague cannot just finish this. We have situations where our colleague said one thing, but when it was investigated, it turned out to be another. So we are just pleading.
So what you're saying now is, we would have to make an official complaint to the DJA before the DJA can weigh in on this.
Exactly. You know, because if you don't have the facts, what are you going to speak to?
I
what
see.
Are you going to speak to?
I see. So in the heat of the moment, we won't see the DJA weighed in unless someone has come to you to tell you that we want to officially inform you that we have been assaulted as journalists.
That's the opportunity you have provided me to wade into it by informing me and asking me of my opinion or the DJA's opinion on the matter.
But as an association, you can't be proactive in instances as this.
For instance, how will we know that a colleague is going into an area and that that colleague has been attacked if that colleague do not inform the DJA about it? Do you get the point I'm making?
What I'm saying is that we have a situation right now. You expect the multimedia group to come and inform the DJA that this is what happened before the DJA takes action.
Let me give you.
But the DJA itself will not be bothered by the fact that a journalist has been abused or assaulted, and will decide that we want to find out what happened.
Let me give you an example and see whether it will work. I understand that the case has been reported to the police, and the police will take action. I understand that the case, the NHIA has gone ahead to interdict the gentleman involved. Without a formal complaint to this institution, how would they have gone about their work? Yes, we can, in the surface of it, stick to it, condemn the people, report the people. But beyond that, what can we do without the facts?
But you agree with me that journalists are not members of the police service. Journalists are not members of the NHIA, but we are members of the Ghana Journalists Association. And so we can't put both organizations on the same level.
So let me give you another example.
Okay, so then here's my example. Here's my example.
Yeah. Okay.
If something happens to me because I went out somewhere. My parents won't wait for me to tell them what happened before they weigh in on asking me, what happened to you? Who did this to you? No, let me finish. And it's the same situation with the Ghana Journalists Association. If I'm a member of the Ghana Journalists Association, I don't think my parents as the GJA should wait for me to come and tell you that when I went out, Master A slapped me. I think as GJA, you should come and ask me, when you went out, I heard Master A slapped you. What happened? Should it always be that you as the parent will wait for your children to come and tell you?
Can I answer that? Or can I speak to it? I think that on this point, I disagree. Because if you're in the house and your son comes in, rushing to crying, at least you expect your son to tell you what happened before you move out. You can't move out without getting the full facts from your son. That's the point I'm making. Because without the facts, look, I wasn't there even to see what happened to our colleague. How would I speak to it if my colleague does not come to me and say that, look, when I went out, this is 1, 2, 3 that happened to me?
Dave, honestly though, I'm indeed very surprised about the kind of analogy you're giving. But if Yapokia is here, so if you're really, you are the center of this. I'm not sure how you're feeling right now.
Well, I don't have any expectation of GJ. I'm not expecting GJ to come and fight a battle for me. I'm not expecting GJ to put up a legal fight in this matter. I do not have absolutely any expectation of GJ at all. So if Mr. Agbenu is speaking like this because he thinks I'm expecting GJ to do it, no. I have my own legal arrangements that I've done, and I do not need GJ. Number 2, I work for Multimedia. Now I've been working here for 15 years. I think that Multimedia will have their own legal arrangement. Even if Multimedia doesn't, I will make my own legal arrangement. I do not need them. Okay, Mr. Agbenu is speaking like this because in recent times, I have been a critic of GJA and the activities and the level of good governance in GJA.
Which is something he's mentioned.
I suspect maybe that's why he's speaking like this. I'm not saying that is factual, but I'm saying this is my suspicion. So I do not have any, if they do not come, why? It doesn't change the story for me.
I see. So Dave, the GJA will wait for a formal complaint.
Well, I'm sorry if you think that because of what you have done in the past is the reason for me speaking the way I'm speaking. This has been the practice for us for a long time because we have been beaten before. There was this lady at home, if you remember, she used to work for Multimedia. During one of the elections, she said that she's been kidnapped and that people want to poison her. I remember saw it vividly. And DJ came out guns blazing. And eventually, when it was investigated, it was found out that the stories were untrue. DJ was badly beaten, and then from that time, DJ decided that, well, if something happens to you, you should come officially to come inform DJ, then DJ can take up the matter.
But Dave, don't you
think... I am not
think...
saying anything different from what we have been doing in the past for Efia to link it to what she's been doing recently. No, that's far from that. I do not have any difficulty with her speaking her mind.
Point well made, David. But with the background you have given, don't you think that is why increasingly the press is being taken for granted? Because we don't have any strong backbone.
No, I don't even want us to go into those areas now because our colleague is in some discomfort. She's been abused. I think we should concentrate on that.
What's better time to talk about this? Because in less than a week, too many pressmen have been assaulted.
Yes. But
and so what better time to talk about this, David?
You also agree with me that in the 2 previous instances, we have come out strongly against the people who abused our colleagues. We even went to Kumasi and we took advantage of our visit to Otunfo to visit the police commander who was handling the case in Kumasi. to ascertain what actually went on and to give our full backing to the processes that were going on. I think that in this matter, this is the same stand we are going to take. But would it be wrong if we ask our colleagues to come and inform us about what has happened and for us to take the necessary steps? I'm not sure that Efia should be so angry with me in particular
I doubt
for what has happened.
David, I doubt if Pokuya is angry. If Pokuya has just made a submission like you have. I'm not sure anybody has told you in the course of the conversation that you are angry or you are not doing your job well.
No, I deduce from the words he's using. The words are so hard.
Oh, she could have done same with the way you were also speaking. But let's move away. I want us to progress in the conversation, David. So if now is not a better time to talk about the backbone press men have, when will be a better time? When someone has died?
I did not say that this is not a better time. My thinking would be for us to concentrate on what we have on hand.
But it is linked with this.
Sorry, go ahead.
It is very much linked with the kind of backbone press men have in this country. If we had a stronger backbone, perhaps we wouldn't be even having this conversation in the first place. And so if we are talking about an assault on a press woman or some pressmen in this country, it is perfect time to also talk about the kind of hold pressmen have behind them at the end of the day. Or it isn't. If it's not, we could leave the conversation here, David.
No, seriously, I am not saying that journalists do not need a backbone. Journalists do not have to talk about their problems. It's unfortunate that we have to veer off the main issue and go
right,
into
David, we'll leave it here for now. Thank you very much. All the same. David Agbenu is General Secretary for the Ghana Journalists Association. So you're supposed to get a police report and the likes. Tell us about that. What do you need that for?
To help with the investigation, which we've done yesterday. Almost midnight, we were still at the police hospital with my reporters. So we've concluded with the police report. We are yet to finalize the statement. So I'm waiting for my other reporter to come and then we'll submit it to the Kanishi police station.
What's going to happen from there?
Well, the police said that they are going to commence investigation, which I strongly have high confidence in them that they're going to do that. Then after that, they will be submitting their report, and based on that, they will determine. I think that normally what they do is that they file the docket to the AG's office for the AG's office to advise whether criminal charges should be preferred or not. So I'll be looking forward to that. But like I said earlier on, I'm not expecting the GJA to join in this battle or whatever in demanding justice. In my whole career, I've not had any support from GJA. That's why I've refused to be very active in GJA. So I don't really bother what they do or do not do. And this is not going to intimidate me. When I'm on air on burning issues on Monday and Wednesday, I'm feisty and I'm demanding accountability. I'm demanding transparency, not from GJA alone, from governments, from state institutions, from opposition, because they are also an institution that supports national development. So I don't care about whichever political divide you think you belong, or whether you're GJA or you're not for GJA. I really don't, mind. At the end of the day, like Manasseh said, we are on the side of Ghana. We cannot afford to let this nation fail. And the media are strategic in ensuring that this country develops. And we cannot, renege on that kind of trust that's been imposed on us. Ordinary people walk to Multimedia, walk to other media houses every day because of the level of confidence they have in us. These NHIS people, they could have gone to the NHIS officers to complain, but they came to us because they believe that we will be able to tell their stories for them. In fact, when the reporter went there and they seized his phone and recorder, and he reported to the office, and I was going to him. Upon entering the building, what the clients were saying, you people have collected money, that's why you don't want to say it. You see, they have so much confidence in us that when we fail to live up to that responsibility, they think that we have been induced. And I refuse to be induced. whether by GJA, by government, by opposition. I refuse to be induced. I have lived by this principle, and thank God, I'm angry, but I have my principles. I sleep at night, and I sleep well, so I don't care about them. And I'm not angry. Mr. Agbenu says I'm angry. I'm going to still continue the demand I'm making on them, that they should tell us the amount of money they got for the awards. They called, Coca-Cola called Beatrice Edu, that they sponsored her category, how much they spent on that, what the money they got from Talu, GMPC. They need to publish those accounts. They owe it to us. They owe it to Ghanaians, because we cannot demand accountability from the state, from opposition, from public institutions, when we ourselves are not accountable. Multimedia, we need to be accountable to our staff. So I'm not upset. I'm just demanding accountability, and I'll continue to demand it in a very feisty way. I won't change my style. So, I mean, if the battle is on, and yesterday one of them called, I don't know if it's one of the staff members of the NHIS, somebody called on air on Adom and threatened that you people say you will talk, we shall continue to beat you. So they should bring it on. Interesting. Yeah, they should bring it on.
And that's how bad the situation here is in the country. And the Media Foundation, I hope you wouldn't just come out to say that it's a dent on our press freedom, but you also do something. You are the people who measure us all the time, and this is what is happening. I hope you take that into account as well. Evia, thank you very much for your time here on News Desk. Right, and so when I come back, we'll discuss some other matters. Don't go away.